Welcome to today's stream. This is the second half of our 50-50 stream. Uh, Sorry, Justin, you couldn't join us, but next time we'll get you when you're all charged up. This particular stream, we have Sifu Chat here, so I've got to show you some stuff when you have a partner to work with. Now, this partner might be a fellow Wing Chunner. Maybe it's somebody that you're working together with, or it might be someone that's never done Wing Chun before. You can still, if it's a body that's interested, you can do this. Um, and what I mean by do this is you can do the exercise, what we call chi sao. Chi sao means sticky hands, although your hands aren't actually sticking. You're sticking more forearms and wrist and whatnot. It's chi sao. Now, a lot of people, there's a lot of different variations on approaches, let's say, to chi sao. And there's ways to break chi sao down to get really good at it. But what we're going to do here is going to be the introduction to the fun chi sao. The fun chi sao meaning that let's say one person is better than the other. Well, guess what? The only fun that's there is the person that's better than the other one, because that person in certain styles of chi sao is the one getting the brunt of being like punched or whatever, right? So this style of chi sao is really not about trying to punch the person and trying to hit each other. Um, that's one way to approach it for sure, and I think it can even fast track the understanding there. But what I'm talking about here is getting the actual benefits of the exercise itself, rather than understanding the big concept of because it's a very huge concept. Whenever you got one person, things are pretty simple. There's a reason why in science the power of two starts to really explain a lot, right? Or, like couldn't understand things until E equals MC. Yeah, that didn't work. MC squared. Oh, of course. Am I making a little bit of sense? A little bit of sense. All right. I'm not trying to make a lot of sense here. um, man, we also have the additional challenge of being attacked by bees right now. So, if you want that additional training, then you might want to go train near a beehive, as we apparently have. Okay. Is there? Are you guys out there? Are we bothering you? Do we need to go somewhere else? Here, maybe if we go over here. Yeah, there we go. Wow, somebody left their balls here. Look at that. Left their balls here. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I think this might work nicely. All right. As long as the bees don't change their mind. All right. So this is chi sao. Again, this is the mellow chi sao. This is not the frat boy version. And this is not the macho version. This is the very pragmatic. Like, what are you really doing here? You know, Chi Sao, rightfully so, gets laughed at by a lot of other martial art practitioners. And the reason being is they get so caught up in this trying to hit each other and whop pop pop pop, oh whop 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 whop, oh whop 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 whop, oh whop 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 whop, patty cake, patty cake. Yeah, and I know it's fun. It is. It's cool. I like it. It's fun. But you really got to watch that because that's not really what Chi Sao is all about. What Chi Sao is all about is feeling the center from the axis, from the point of contact, feeling the axis from an outside point, a diagonal point of contact, and maintaining the ground. And then also maintaining a very feeling. Feeling is what this is about. Feeling, yeah. And just being able to feel. Now, there's a version of this in art, in dance, that's called contact dancing, I think it's called. And what it is, it's almost like this, except you're not staying center. And they even do like versions of it, like on in Tai Chi, and you might have done this in Waldorf at some point. It's like and you're always just maintaining this contacts, and maybe somebody will get down low and all that. Yeah, and there's versions of this in Tai Chi probably, where you're more kind of big circle. All right, so there are artistic versions of this that kind of have a very similar effect, except our end goal is very specific to the martial art of Wing Chun. And so, yes, our end goal is for them to open themselves up and run in to the obstacle. Your elbow, it might be, or your fist, or your paksa, or whatever. So, yeah, that's the end goal. But getting there, you don't play patty cake. You don't, stop, 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 stop. You don't do that. You try to maintain your ground, right? And what you're doing is you're just giving a little push. Yeah. Now, see, Sifu Chad's gonna pretend that he hasn't been training for many years now, and I'm gonna give him a little push. And look, he just falls back. Right? And then you give me a push, right? And yeah, I fall back too. Now I'm going to push you, and now you don't fall back because you kind of know how much to give, right? And then you push me, and I know how much to give. Now we switch the other side because staying contacted when you do the switch is hard, so you don't really focus on that. And the same thing, you're now like just kind of pushing, pushing, right? Pushing and seeing at one point where are you being where's the glitch at? Right? Oh, I feel hardness right there. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. See, and now you're not concerned that the elbows are touching the body. Not yet. That comes a little later. Eventually, you don't want the elbows coming anywhere near the body, at least a fist away. But for now, you just want to know where to give. At what point do I give without losing that center? Right? Once you understand how much to give without losing the center, then you can implement a thing called pivot. I'm going to push and you pivot. Yeah, see, now I don't have to fall back and I don't have to let my elbows fall to my body. Now I'm familiar with this and I know when it gives me an idea of when to pivot. Yeah, here, let you redeem yourself. All right, so here, I'll go here and we'll pivot. Yes. Yeah. And I just fall right into the trap, right? And that's why Wing Chun is known for its trapping, right? So that whole trapping comes from Chi Sao. You wouldn't be able to trap if you didn't do Chi Sao. You'd only be able to go boom, no sensitivity, none of that stuff, right? But Chi Sao allows you to create traps, right? And they fall into it, and it's effortless, right? That's the beauty of a trap. A trap is different from hunting, like with a knife or whatever, or explosion, right? A trap is just this little thing, and you walk away, you're not even paying attention, right? And the thing just happens automatically, gets pulled in the snare, right? That's what a trap is. And so a trap, pardon, a trap is not, again, what Wing Chun looks like on the surface isn't necessarily what it is. A trap is not, oh, right? And then, wah, wah. Yeah, but no. A trap is one, um, I push, you pivot, right? And now down over top. And yeah, you see, I fell into the trap. You didn't shove me into the trap. See the difference? So it's all the approach. I mean, you can do all this and trapping all you want, but that's not going to be the least bit effective in a martial arts situation, in a self defense situation, in a fighting situation. Only in a sport chisao that's made for that, right? And that only has so much efficacy out on the street. Just like um, above blue belt level jujitsu has only so much efficacy out on the streets. However, it has great efficacy in that training style. So if I do the training and blah 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 blah, and that's the style, and it's Wing Chun, well, yeah, you're going to rule the day. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have that. Like because here we're agreeing, just stay. We're not moving, right? Well, that's not reality. Here, now pivot. Yeah. Yeah, here we do it again. Right now, pivot. Yeah, yeah. See, I just went right into his trap, and then it makes whatever he wants to with that trap to be set. Yeah, whatever it's going to be, right? A downward elbow, or a strike, or a submission. Uh, I don't know. Then it's been given to you. You get into big trouble in a self defense scenario when you try to take what isn't given. So Wing Chun has this valuable thing that we call trapping, but it's the trapping really is predicated on your ability to maintain ground, maintain center, to feel this when you need to give and when you need to pivot. And then once that your opponent is in your trap, this particular trap is just offset. I'm offset. So even if he hit me, that would have been a good one. Of course, Sifu Z, no punch, no grab, but we won't go into that. Even if he hit me, I'm off centered now, and now all he needs to do is push me, right, with one finger, right? Sure, there's all kind of. So the trap doesn't necessarily mean you grab them or hit them. It could just be push them over. Yeah. Oh, is it helicopter coming? Oh, okay. We're at a helicopter pad right now, so we probably shouldn't be here. And two guys riding a Vespa, man, after my heart. Oh, a whole Vespa team, a whole Vespa army, guys. You got to see this. I know it's Wing Chun, but my golly, you got to see the team of the Vespa. It's a Vespa gang. It's a Vespa gang. There had to be at least 10 of them. Man, glad we're ready with our Wing Chun. All right, guys. I wanted to give a short little lesson in this stream. Um, this is a really practical thing, right? If you have a girlfriend or something, or a relative or something, and you don't address it as something where you're punching each other and hitting each other. Address it as like a balance and sort of like a game of of like that dance. Remember, the dance is like this, man. You do the dance, and yeah, as long as you stay connected and whatnot, and yeah, he's a pro at it, so I'm not even gonna try. But however, yeah, approach it in that playful manner, but you can get some really good training and making sure that your balance is, you have good center and good balance and good structure, right? And good sensitivity, and then having that pivot. I mean, when you give this a little bit more structure, that way, uh, that yeah, a little bit more. If you're too soft and too supple, then speed will always win, right? So you always got to understand speed. But if you connect now that speed, you're connected to the speed. But if it's a loose connection, it's like a loose wire. Yeah, right, right. So there's always this sort of a nice firm connection. Now, look how easy when I violate. Oh, no, 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 pivot, pivot, pivot. Yeah, and pivot this way just so they can see it. Yeah, like no, no,
Oh, you
this
want
way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So again, we'll first get that connection right, and now when I push forward, yeah, look at that. Yeah, and so it's just that don't do the punching part. That'll intimidate your friend or loved one, right? But just this whole thing of can you stay balanced and can you stay supple? Like like they say be like a willow. They say in kung fu, being more like a willow. Where the root is strong and grounded, but the top can just move. Now, this is a very loose version, but understanding it this way then allows you to tighten it up properly, as opposed to doing all this stuff and just missing the whole point. Whereas this is how you set your trap. You have to have the sensitivity. Think of a mouse trap. If the mouse trap was like that, the mouse could just take the cheese, walk away, no problem. The reason a trap works is because of its sensitivity and it's just hair trigger practically, right? So this is something that we've been talking about a lot, well, since we've been hanging out this past week, and I think it's huge, um, especially Wing Chun being a feminine martial art taken over by men. We tend to lack in the sensitivity department. We're not kind of wired for the nurturing kind of thing. Right. So, and this is just a generalization. All generalizations are dangerous, but as a generalization, it's true. All right. I'm as sensitive as all hell, so it's not true for me, and probably never has been. Well, hey, I try to be as insensitive as I can. Okay, let me just put it that way. All right. So, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. This is a private video and it's only for the Patreon members. We've lost a lot of Patreon members over the years, but we've been here forever. And as long as Patreon doesn't get too crazy, we'll continue to be over on Patreon. So, thank you for your patronage over there. I really appreciate it. I always say when you don't have the quantity, then it gives you the chance to appreciate the quality. That's the, little something, something. Little kung fu wisdom there. Okay. That's it, guys. I'll see you. We are doing things on the fly here. So, the 50/50 is being done on the fly. Lessons, sessions, all being done on the fly. As long as and we're going to be out in the mountains and hard to reach places all summer. So I have a funny feeling that that's going to be the schedule all summer. Is just kind of doing it when we can. However, I can always respond to your questions and comments, and I can also always make videos if I need to help you to understand this amazing martial art that we are involved in called Wing Chun. It's not even a martial art, really. It's called Kung Fu. Kung Fu. Yeah. Kung Fu has a lot of different definitions, hard work, trickery, you know. But we'll talk about that next time around.